Welcome back to the channel. Today we're climbing higher and higher across the planet to discover the highest professional football stadium on each continent. From inland capitals to mountain villages that require a cable car just to reach kickoff, we'll travel from the lowest continental high, all the way to the roof of world football. Along the way, we'll pass a Swiss pitch perched above the clouds, climb into Africa's highlands, and reach a city on the Tibetan Plateau often called the roof of the world. And at the end, we'll finish in the Andes, where the world's highest professional stadium sits more than 4 kilometers above sea level, roughly the height of around 13 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of one another. First on our ascent is Oceania, where professional football rarely climbs far above sea level. In Oceania, the highest major international football venue is found in Australia's capital city. Joe Stadium in Canberra sits approximately 577 metres, or 1,893 feet, above sea level. With a capacity of just over 25,000, it has hosted Australia's national team, the Socceroos, in international competition. Canberra has a population of roughly 450,000 and lies inland between Sydney and the Australian Alps. The climate is temperate, with cool winters and occasional frosty mornings, already very different to the humid coast, but still only a gentle start to our climb. From Australia's inland capital, we head into Europe, where the continent's highest football ground sits in the Swiss Alps. The Ottmar Hitzfeld Arena in Giessen, Switzerland, sits at approximately 2,012 meters, or 6,588 feet, above sea level. This is a tiny mountain village with fewer than 100 residents, and the ground is used within the Swiss league system. It's famous not for its size, but for its setting. Spectators often reach it by cable car, climbing above valleys and forests before arriving at a pitch surrounded by alpine peaks. The climate is alpine, with long snowy winters and cool summers. It's a reminder that even in Europe, football can be played at mountain heights. Next, we climb higher into North America, where one of the highest top-flight stadiums in the continent sits on Mexico's Central Plateau. Estadio Nemesio da in Toluca stands at approximately 2,660 meters, or 8,727 feet, above sea level. With a capacity of around 30,000, it is home to Deportivo Toluca in Liga MX, Mexico's top division, and it has hosted matches at both the 1970 and 1986 FIFA World Cups. Toluca itself has a population close to 900,000. The city sits in a highland basin surrounded by mountains and volcanoes, giving it a subtropical highland climate with cooler temperatures than many parts of Mexico. At this height, the air is noticeably thinner than at sea level, and the intensity of the game can feel different, especially for visiting teams not used to altitude. From Mexico's plateau, we climb again into Africa's highlands, where altitude isn't a rare event, it's everyday life. Debre Biran in Ethiopia sits at approximately 2,840 meters, or 9,317 feet, above sea level, making it one of the highest major football locations on the continent. The city has a population of around 100,000 and lies within the Ethiopian Highlands. Despite its proximity to the equator, the climate remains cool due to high elevation. Local clubs such as Debre Biran Ketema have appeared within national league structures and on football score platforms, although fixtures may sometimes be hosted at alternative stadiums. Just to the south, in Ethiopia's capital of Addis Ababa, football infrastructure is being reimagined for the future. The Addis Ababa National Stadium, sometimes referred to as the Addis Ababa Stadium, is a major new project intended to become the country's flagship venue. Planned to seat over 60,000 spectators, it will be one of the largest stadiums in East Africa. Construction is underway with targeted phases expected to be completed in the coming years. While the original Addis Ababa Stadium, also known as Yidnekachud Tesima Stadium, remains in use today, The new national stadium represents Ethiopia's ambitions to host larger international matches and elevate its professional football stature. Yet even the Ethiopian Highlands do not represent the upper limit of continental football. To climb higher still, we move east onto the Tibetan Plateau in Asia. Lhasa, often called the roof of the world, sits at approximately 3,656 meters above sea level, or 11,995 feet. The Lhasa Cultural Sports Center Stadium has hosted professional league football, although long-term use at this altitude has faced logistical challenges. Lhasa has a population of over 500,000 and sits in a cold semi-arid climate with strong sunshine and thin, dry air. At nearly 3,700 meters, oxygen levels are significantly lower than at sea level, and even light exertion can feel harder for visitors. Playing competitive football at this altitude is a serious test, not just of skill, but of stamina and acclimatization. At this stage, we are already higher than most mountain towns in Europe. But the Andes rise higher still. To reach the highest professional football stadium on Earth, we travel deep into South America. Estadio Daniel Alcides Carrion in Cerro de Pasco, Peru, stands at approximately 4,338 meters above sea level, or 14,232 feet. That's over 4 kilometers high, roughly the height of around 13 Eiffel Towers stacked one above another. Cerro de Pasco has a population of around 70,000 and is known for its high-altitude mining industry. The stadium, with a capacity of roughly 8,000, has hosted professional Peruvian league clubs within the national system. The climate is cold and Andean, with low temperatures year-round and thin air that visitors feel immediately. It is not just the highest stadium on this list, it is widely recognized as the highest professional football stadium in the world. And when we compare the continents side by side, a clear geographical pattern emerges. Just as the tallest mountains cluster in the Himalayas, the highest football stadiums cluster in the Andes. Several of the top 5 highest professional stadiums on Earth are found in Peru and neighboring Bolivia. No other continent comes close to matching the concentration of extreme altitude football. From Australia's inland capital to a cable car village in Switzerland, from Mexico's high plateau to the Ethiopian Highlands and the Tibetan Plateau, football rises with the land itself. But nowhere does it rise higher than in the Andes of South America. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new and enjoyed the journey. Take care and please look out for new videos coming soon.